Hi, my name is Banke Meshida Lawal, and I'm the founder of BM Pro Makeup Nigeria. While I was in college, I would always wake up and do my own makeup, but when people started to pay me for making them up, that was when I realized that, okay, this is definitely a viable thing to do. Initially, I would do henna on myself and walk to class, and people would ask if I could use the same henna to create maybe Celtic designs and tattoos on their bodies. And I'd say yes, because I was very good in fine art. I'd do the first set of tattoos and I'd get paid. And I remember I used to keep my money in a shoebox with my sister. And as the funds grew, I realized that, okay, people needed this and I could provide it. And then I always charged and people paid whatever I charged. In Unilag, I studied English. And then over the weekends, back then, wedding engagements would usually be typically on a Friday. So I would do the engagement on Friday and then the white wedding on Saturday. I knew that I was financially stable when I told my parents to stop giving me money, because then they'd give me 500 naira for the month. That was very small, but it was what they could afford. Of course, over time, I stopped asking my parents for my pocket money, and I would even buy groceries to the house. There was a day my dad said to me, I didn't send you to school to go and be a makeup artist or all these hair things you're doing. And I said to him, Daddy, do you remember the last time I asked you for money? I don't ask you for money anymore. And remember that this thing, I do it on the weekends, so it doesn't disturb my studies. And my grades were good. I finished with a 2-2 in Unilag. And, my parents eventually had to come round. I guess my father was being stoic and saying, no, no, no. But as always, they were silently proud of me, and here we are. I was just yearning to create and solve problems. I remember I had a friend then. She was the girlfriend of the club chief, and every time they'd have these club parties, I would make her up, and then also attend the parties myself. And she always shone when she got to the party. Everyone wanted to feed her and celebrate her. So I went from doing her makeup to tidying her hair, even the clothes that she wore. I would help with selecting, go to Ted Show to get fabric, and just be a huge part of getting her dressed for the parties. And I did the same thing for a lot of my classmates. So I didn't zero in on makeup. I suppose because I always wanted people to turn out fantastic and perfect, I had a bit to say about everything. So I helped with everything. And then as time went on, there were people doing hair, and then I just focused on makeup. When I'm not doing makeup, I'm taking pictures, photography, I'm listening to music, I'm just generally creating on my computer. I remember when I did Dame Goodluck Jonathan's makeup in Abuja. There's a lot of protocol involved in all of that, even though I'd spoken to her, but the whole ceremonies to get into the villa and all of that, it's very tasking. And I remember thinking, are we in a movie or what's going on? But it was after all of the barriers, the simplicity with which I was received, very warm. So also, when I work with VIPs, it's just the ease with which we transact our business, and then we forge a relationship afterwards. So every time that happens, I keep thinking to myself, okay, interesting. During COVID, we all thought we were going to die and the world was coming to an end. And then we had a lot of time. I had time to dream and then decide that I was going to start skincare. And I really don't know where we were going. My website had been set up for about 3 years before COVID. Sales would trickle in, it was even dead, non-existent. And then during COVID, in a month, we made sales in millions. And I said to myself, are we all not supposed to shut down? Where are people going? And I was just so glad that my website was up and running. It had been built, everything was perfect. And makeup artists, regular women, everyone was shopping on the site. And then I decided to create like a training program as well for makeup artists, because again, we all thought we were going to die. So we were all locked down, but training was going on my website, payment gateway was functioning. And when COVID ended, we just continued in that line. And I realized that online, it's a completely different game than running a brick and mortar store, like a physical store. So I've continued my training, the school, and a lot of young entrepreneurs continue to patronize the brand. They retail, they distribute, and even people who can't come into the store, we're able to train them virtually on creating beautiful faces for themselves. So, I've realized that this business will keep on evolving and we will keep meeting needs. So be it impacting women generally, or just making them feel good about themselves. I keep thinking, how are we still here? We've come so far. We've gone from just even as simple as my simple small makeup box that's about 4 by A4, and if you see the way I lug around makeup now, I come in with trunks. And we've been here for about 26, 27 years, still evolving. We still haven't covered ground. Some people still don't know who we are. And the plan is to be global. The plan is to have every woman have an item of BM Pro. It's like my spirit, my energy gets renewed every time, especially in the morning when I wake up. I have plans, I have dreams, and it's just to make sure that one is with the right team to push and materialize those dreams. So BM Pro is evolving. We will continue to evolve, but one thing is certain: we will continue to provide quality beauty services. I will continue to push for the industry to be well respected, for artists to be remunerated, because nothing gives me more joy than to see a young girl who picked up her makeup brushes and is soaring today. It is the best feeling. One sacrifice is knowing that you're shouldering a lot of responsibility. You have homes that depend on you, so you make decisions that affect real people. Of course, finance is a huge part of it, and it's to be able to shoulder a lot of that. And then another thing is the support of family. I've been blessed with the family that I have. Sleepless nights, thinking, and just meeting deadlines. It's a lot sometimes, and especially with the way the economy is, the way the country is. But I can't stop. I can't fail. I can't disappoint my team, my family. So I just keep going. If you have to do 50,000 things, go and perfect it. It's not kosher. The team is not kosher. Everyone's head is not screwed on the same way. You have people who make your life easy, and you have people who were sent to you to give you high blood pressure. So it's being able to juggle and shut down those people and then focus on the good parts. In as much as there's support, I also have to put in the work. But it's identifying the right members of the team and then aligning with them, and then slowly letting go of the people who stress you or make your life more difficult. So for someone young who is coming into this industry, like I said, run your own race. Do your own things the way you want to do it. Never ever look at someone else and think you want to get that person's, you want to be exactly like that person. You can be inspired by them, but your own race is always going to be different. So do not surround yourself with gaslighters. Your story is very different from the next person's story. You must focus. If the world is falling apart, no problem. That's not your own headache. Just focus on your lane. If you have a dream, pursue it. Map out your steps and keep going. People will come and tell you, oh, you're too slow, your trajectory is too retarded. Very good. As long as you have a roof over your head, you're able to pay some bills. You're never going to be able to pay all your bills. But as long as you're healthy as well, and as long as you have people in your corner that will tell you the truth, you're going to do very well. But one thing is, you must keep dreaming. Once you achieved some part of your dream, dream of another one, and then just keep going.